My name is Rajpal Singh. मेरा नाम राजपाल सिंह है. Today's date is August 2nd, 2014. I was 23 years old at the time. I was a bank employee. I was working in a Punjab National Bank in the at the Parliament Street Bridge. The branch is very nearby the Gurdwara Rakhabganj and the Gurdwara Bangla Sahib. I was working in the bank at the time when it happened, and then 2 o'clock, we got this news in a bank that this something happened, and then somehow they told us to go home. And instead of going home, because my elder brother and my younger brother, they were working in a Sarojini Nagar market. It's in a Delhi, very big market. So they were, because they have a store over there, so I went over there to tell them, this has happened, but when I went over there, their store was always closed. So I waited for like a couple of hours, and then I start going to my house, but on the way, a lot of people stopped me. He say, if you're going, because where Sarojini Nagar is like 3 miles from the Safdarjung Hospital, where the All India Medical Institute, whatever you say, where was it actually started. So we're not too far away. No, I didn't see at the time, the very first day that it really is happening, everything, but as like couple of people stopped me when I was going house. He said, please don't go on there, on that side, because something is wrong, they're doing something, but nobody elaborate anything or say anything what's going on. But they said, because I was in a full swoop at the time, so they stopped me to go from there. So I didn't care about the first time. When the third person told me, so I went back, because I knew there's something is wrong. Something is wrong. I definitely knew that the 6 are the targets, because I'm the only Hindu people told me to go back, don't go to the bus, the bus station where I have to catch the bus. Please don't go over there. So I knew that something is going against the 6 at the time, I have a like feeling in my mind, yeah. When I go back, to the store, there's another Sikh family was living on upstairs on the same store. So when I went over there, then a lot of, like a couple of Hindus, they're friends to them, they came and they told us, they start looting, and most of the hurting the Sikhs at the time. That's the first thing. The looting was like started like later on a little bit, but the first thing is that whenever they see any Sikhs, buses or on the road, they start beating them. Started like around, actually it's already the planning or something, nobody knows about it. Like 4 or 5 o'clock, it was not like that much, but the 7 o'clock, your beating starts. They go in the buses, they look at the Sikh people with a pagadi and a hair, they start beating them up and then throwing them out of the buses. Yes, they did. Me, my elder brother, and my younger brother, we three, but the Vaheguru grace, we got saved, but we almost like very near to the point where people was coming to kill us. That happened, like somehow my brothers came in the evening, so nowhere we can go at the time. So we tried to stay in the Sikh family, where upper portion of the store. So we just went over there. In the morning, we decided to go home, because we all 3 brothers together, and my mom was worrying because we all 3 brothers, we have no sisters, so she has only 3 kids. So she was worrying so much, so we trying to go home, somehow. So one of my friend bought a new van to do a business with the Taj Palace Hotel at the time for the delivery purpose, and he hired a driver. So he and his driver and me, 3 brothers, and one of my another friend, he's a Sikh boy too. Now he's living in Mississauga. His name is Binny Rajpal. That's his full name. We all try to go back to the home. He lives in the same Vikaspuri where we used to live. When we go from Thalakua to the Tilak Nagar, there's a whole because I'm living here for so long, I don't know too much about the roads, but I remember exactly from Dholakpur to Tilak Nagar, there's a one road, but I don't know right now what the name of the road is. There's a one little place called the Nangal Rai. Then you go a little bit hill, and then you go down the hill. So everything was going okay. People tried to stop us in between, but it was like they just give the hand, but nobody tried to throw anything. But as soon as we go the hill to the Nangarai, and then when we go down, the people have a drums. They block the road with the drums, and they have a sticks in a hand, and something was burning. I see a lot of fire.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as the driver see like those things, he stopped the car, and he got a little bit scared because my friend was driving. So by the Vaiguru grace, he hired the driver. He was with us, so he suddenly jumped to the driving seat and pushed him outside. So he told him to go other side and sit in a van. And then what he did, I see that all those people, like with the stakes and whatever they have hand, like they're all coming to kill us.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that there's somebody, because he stopped at somebody sick people, because we all have a turbans, all four of us.
Mm-hmm.
So the distance is like you can say like a 200 feet or 250 feet, when this driver put on a reverse and he took us like a 4 or 5 kilometers back.
Mm-hmm.
And then he reversed it, and then he said, what are you supposed to do? I said, just drop us back where you pick us up to the same like Sikh family where we're living with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then saw something was going on, that they already did a lot of other things. When I saw those people were like, they already maybe killed like so many people over there, because that's the only road when we go from Dhola to the Tilak Nagar. At the time, mostly Hindus. Yes, because I was not like, we are not like scared or something, like really, like it suddenly get scared, like, yeah, but because we are confused what's going on, because it was never expected like this can happen to the Delhi where I was born and raised. I was 23 years old. Not the immediate family, but yes, there's like my neighbors, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because there's two incidents where I live in a Vikaspuri.
Mm-hmm.
We still have an apartment in a Vikaspuri. That's the only apartment we left in a property in India. The next door is a Sikh family, and they never find their son. Not even the dead body they found it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another one, my other friend who live in a Mississauga. I told you before, the Beni Rajpal. They have a next door neighbor too. They're like a 20 years old son on a scooter. He went to the airport. When he coming back, they found the scooter, but they never found the dead body and anything. We've spoken to this one like a lot of like our friends and families, at the time, because first of all, I tell you honestly, we were very angry at the time,
Mm-hmm.
because I want to tell you one more little incident, because there's another Sikh family where I live. There's a block. There's like 20 people live, and this guy is like from Punjab, and his family, his brother used to live like somewhere in a Jamnapur in Delhi at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and they killed him. They killed his brother by putting a tire on his neck, and this guy sometime wakes up like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I heard the screaming. He was like crying.
Mm-hmm.
So when we sees those things, and like at the time when I told you, when we went back to the place where I used to live in a Sikh family, and going back to my home, it took me 10 days, 2 or 3 brothers, to go back to our home, which is only like a 15 kilometer maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time when we used to go upstairs, like on the roof, you can tell, like on the roof type, like the India, you can go on a top floor or whatever. Terrace, whatever. I see smokes coming out of the left, right, east, west, whatever direction you want to see. All the smokes. They're burning the 6 stores. Like, this was like really bad at the time. It took 3 days. Nobody say anything to this. No law and order at the time. They doing whatever they want to do. Like, mostly, I know it's a politics.
Mm-hmm.
Congress party was directly involved in that one. We know one because we are all well educated at the time. Like, we are not like, we all came from a very nice group. Like always Sikh students, like Sikh friends. We knew what happened. It's because of 3 days they have a full power to do anything. The way I found out, because in Sarojini Nagar, at the time the police inspector was a Gursikh guy, he was our friend, and he was immediately relieved on the same day when this incident happened from the job. He said that you're relieved from, like, they gave him like a 4 or 5 days, 7 days, whatever, like suspension or the leave or whatever. They told him that you're leave. That's it. Yes, because it happened because when we were living on those place where, like, within 10 days, first 3 days, there's a crowd, and crowd used to come in a markets or to kill you, burn your store, whatever they want to do. And it happened like 4 or 5 times that they're coming. People say they, like, you can hear them from outside. Oh, they're coming. And then the only reason the Sarojini market was saved at the time, because it was not under the Congress. It's under the, I think so, Bharatiya Janata Party or something else, Jansangh. I don't remember at the time, but I know the Congress was not the leading that place. So these people, because there was a political fight, these political parties know about this Congress doing, so they just stop it. But every, like, an hour or 2 hours, when you go to the terrace and you see that they're burning, and they say, and then you heard then all the screaming, oh, they're here, they're coming. This definitely affects your brain. It happened in 1984 because it was a pre-plan from the Congress Party. There's no doubt about it. And how I can say, because that one, then these 3 people, when they killed Indira Gandhi, and then they have a big meeting, and it was whatever, like, we find out at the time that the Congress Party pre-planned this violence, because it's not the people who living in Delhi. All the Hindu friends of us never want to touch us. They trying to help us. So they knew this gonna happen. So they got a lot of outside people from UP and Haryana, maybe, I don't know, but the UP is definitely, I know that one. They came in a buses, and the way we find out, because they came over market, they break like couple of stores, but the other party never let it happen because they try to fight them back, so they run away. The way they open the like the doors, how to break the locks, they were professionals. It take them less than 1 minute to break the shutter or the gate, whatever you say, the gate over here, but in India we say the shutter, like a 1 minute. They're all professionals. They were hired by the outsiders, and they get well paid to do this job. This is like a paid jobs they were doing it. Yes, because I was working in a bank too when it happened, and then I saw, like, this is very personal, but I used to work, like a lot of my friends, when I used to work in a Punjab National Bank. At the time, we had 3 or 4 sick at the time, and working in the bank, and we were very sad. But I see a lot of people enjoying it too, and they were smiling, and they coming to us again and again and asking us, what do you prefer? Like all the soldiers died in there, or like the Bhindranwala and other their like disciples, like they died. They asking like a stupid kind of questions, make no sense, to just make us like more like aggressive or more sad. That's what it happened. Yeah, changed my life. It's changed our life in a sense because the first of all, like when we saw, because I was young at the time, I was 23 years old. Okay, and when you're young, you think a little differently. So we are really angry at the time, because we are full of anger. I was never angry that kind of before. Yeah, all those flashbacks come to your mind. They come in. Be ready to fight. For your life. And when I see that one, when those people coming to kill you, like 150 feet away, like all those things come to your brain, and then you get angry about this one. And then we joined like few groups to learn how to fight, like, and then we decided to keep the weapons in a home, because the biggest problem was Sikhs were sleeping at the time in India, in Delhi, especially in Delhi, because we were born in a city. We were like a different kind of life over there. It's not like you from village or something. We were born in a nice city, different kind of life, different kind, mostly Hindu dominated, and we never expected, where you're born, this can be happen. So there's no weapon in a home, and if they have a weapons in a home sex, they were totally obsolete. Maybe like a 30 years ago, 50 years, that was not good enough. Of course, the life changed, our Gurdwara changed, everything changed. Self-defense is is our right. So we did everything to fight it back if something happened like that one. Not even my house, even in our local Gurdwara in a Vikaspuri, if I'm not wrong, it's an M block, block M. We have now it's a big Gurdwara. At the time, it was a very small Gurdwara. Yes, it's changed our life. Yes.